Yeah, good morning, everyone. So, last session we completed all the bootstrap basic things. So, we already learned how to handle bootstrap. I will give you one template. Already, I given the template. You have to design the template using bootstrap. So, already I uploaded one template to you. So this is the template I already uploaded to you. You already designed it, na? I given this, huh? Right. So what you have to try here is you need to try to design this complete template. This complete template you have to try to design. Means along with the functionality using Bootstrap. You have to try this. Along with functionality using Bootstrap, you need to design that, right? That means functionality means this is the front page design. And we have another. This is about will get you this. On click on this button, it will pop up the details. What are these? This is model, na? Right? You need to design this. We have another option, services and contact, and there is a sign in. What is it? It is a drop down. In the drop down, you have links. These are links. When you click on that link, then sign up page will come. So these links, sign up, change password, these options will come. You must able to design this complete screen, including this carousel. This is carousel, right? You can create a good carousel better than what is here. This is just a demo. You must able to design this complete example. Means this complete template. Okay. Now, this complete template along with all these pages, you must able to design. Temporarily, what you will do, what you have to do is put a iframe, because this toolbar is same in every page. Toolbar is same. The content is changing. So this you must try to design. Okay. So this example I already uploaded. Na? Task. I given this task, but up to that moment you used only HTML. Now you have to use HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap, and must able to design this type of template. You try this. So take 1-2 days time, 2 days maximum for this, right? You must able to design this. If you can try, I will see those designs what you created. Based on that, we will try some more designs. But for those designs, to give functionality, now we are going to learn another concept. What is that? JavaScript. So from today, we will start understanding about the JavaScript. We'll start learning about JavaScript. So up to now, you learned few basic things. You learned HTML, CSS, we discussed Sass and Bootstrap. These are the very important for JavaScript. To deal with JavaScript, first you need to be strong in your HTML. Many people, they take HTML as an easy concept. But Remember, in real world projects, you can't do anything in JavaScript if you are not good in HTML. Because many times people ask, when we start JavaScript, I want to learn JavaScript. You are very much hurried in JavaScript. But remember, you can't touch anything in JavaScript without complete good knowledge of HTML. Zero. You can't do anything in JavaScript. First, you need to be very perfect in HTML. JavaScript is only for the people who are good in HTML and CSS. Directly learning JavaScript, you can't do anything without proper knowledge of HTML. So you must have good knowledge of HTML, CSS, then you can easily handle JavaScript. Actually, what is JavaScript and the basic introduction I will give you first. Actually, JavaScript is a language. JavaScript is a language. So many times when you listen about JavaScript, several times you may heard that people calling JavaScript as a client-side script. People call JavaScript as a client-side script. That is not true. JavaScript is not a client-side script. First basic thing you should know that. But many times you see people calling JavaScript as client-side script because they don't know proper JavaScript. Because they don't have a complete idea on JavaScript. That's the reason it's okay. They can say that JavaScript is client-side script because they don't know proper JavaScript. JavaScript is not a client-side script. JavaScript is a language. Actually, JavaScript is a lightweight, JIT, just in time. Lightweight, just in time. Just in time means JIT. Lightweight, just in time, compiled programming language, interpreted and compiled, just in time compiled programming language. JavaScript is a lightweight, just in time compiled programming language. And JavaScript is also an interpreted language. Means official definition of JavaScript is, it is a lightweight interpreted and just in time compiled programming language. That is the meaning. Actually, that is the official definition. It is a lightweight interpreted and just in time compiled programming language. JavaScript official definition means, from the people who built it, from the people who designed JavaScript, according to them, what is JavaScript? I given the definition. So from the people who built JavaScript, the official definition of JavaScript is, it is lightweight, interpreted, and just in time compiled programming language. What is meant by interpreted? So interpreted means, interpreted language translates line by line. Interpreted language translates line by line, translates line by line of program. You written 10 lines program, all 10 lines are not translated at a time, translated line by line. They are translated line by line, one line at a time. For example, languages like C, C++, Java, .NET, they are not interpreted. They are compiled. Interpreted means line by line translation. Compiled means all lines are translated at a time. All lines are translated at a time. Line by line, that is interpreted. And JavaScript is both. JavaScript is interpreted and JavaScript is compiled also. That means it can work in both situations. It can do line by line translation. It can translate entire program. That means, so compiled language translates all lines simultaneously at the same time. Compiled language translates all lines simultaneously at the same time. All lines are translated at a time. Actually, JavaScript supports both. What is the both? Interpreted. Another one is compiled. Actually, compiled languages are two types again. Compiled languages are two types again. Actually, we have JIT compiled and AOT compiled. Compiled languages are two types, JIT compiled and AOT compiled. Just in time compiled, ahead of time compiled. Two types of compiled languages are there. In the modern generation, we have both of them, JIT and compiled and AOT compiled. Actually, JIT is just in time. JIT is just in time. What is the advantage of JIT is it compiles the program in browser. It compiles the program in browser, that is called JIT, just in time. So AOT is ahead of time. So it compiles the program in application and sends to browser. That is the difference between AOT and JIT. I will show you a simple point here. So the programming languages, that means compiled languages, two types, JIT compiled and AOT compiled. Now JavaScript is both. JavaScript supports AOT as well as JIT. Some technologies use JavaScript with JIT and some technologies uses JavaScript with AOT. Actually, JIT compiled means, so concept is simple actually. Suppose we are having a browser. So let's say, suppose we are having a browser. This is browser. Now in this, this is the browser. Yep. And now we designed an application. In this application, we are writing some JavaScript code. We are writing some JavaScript code. Now what happens is, this application, this index.js, it will load this index.js into browser. It will load the index.js into browser and it compiles in browser. This mechanism is called JIT. JIT means whatever JavaScript code is there, which you written in application, it will compile after loading into browser. So that is JIT compiled. Ahead of time compiled is nothing but it will compile the program in application only. It compiles the program in application and it sends output to browser. So depending on situation, which one is better? Depending on situation, sometimes actually, as if you are building a large application, lot of things are there in that application, then compiling at application and going to browser is good. It is faster. Compiling in browser is burden to browser. Suppose you are sending a small code, browser will compile. If you are sending thousands of lines of code and browser memory is limited, in that limited memory, if browser have to compile, then it will take more time. That is the reason latest technologies which are using JavaScript, they are using JavaScript with AOT technique. Earlier, everybody have to use just in time only, right? But very recently, we are using a new technique called AOT. So all latest technologies are using JavaScript with AOT technique. Like you heard about Angular, React, Vue, all these use AOT techniques. So Angular like technology, React like technology, Vue like technologies, the technologies which are JavaScript based, they are now preferring AOT, but they started with JIT only. That means those technologies started with just past 2-3 years only. From past 2-3 years, AOT became very popular ahead of time, and every technology started using it now. Everywhere we use that regularly. So JavaScript supports both. JavaScript supports interpreted, JavaScript supports compiled. JavaScript supports just-in-time compiled, and it supports ahead of time compiled. Actually, for JavaScript uses various compilers for AOT. JavaScript uses various compilers for AOT. The popular compilers for AOT, we have a compiler called V8. We have a compiler called Babel. Babel and V8 are the popular compilers which are used for JavaScript. But here, so many points are there, we will discuss. So JavaScript uses various compilers. So AOT, for AOT, it uses V8 Babel-like compiler. For JIT, you don't need a compiler. Why? Because it is compiled in the browser. Who will take care? Browser engine. We learned browser engine now. Browser engine have a JavaScript compiler. That is the reason to learn JavaScript, you don't need to install anything. Every computer having a browser is ready for JavaScript. In a computer, if you have a browser, that computer is ready for JavaScript. You don't need to install any JavaScript. Why? Because it is inbuilt available with the browsers. Every browser have JavaScript. So technically, JavaScript compilers are so many. You see, this is the popular compiler actually. Babel.js. This is a JavaScript compiler. So Babel is a JavaScript compiler, and it is very popular now. And all modern technologies, Angular, React, everybody is using this compiler, Babel. Later you will see V8 compiler. Node.js uses a compiler called V8. So it is a compiler, and these compilers are very much required in the modern generation. So JavaScript supports two types of compiling techniques. What are those? AOT technique, another one JIT. What is JIT? Means just in time, means AOT means the code is compiled in application. The output is sent to the browser. So which one is faster? AOT is faster. AOT is faster. But if you have to compile small set of code, then JIT is better. So because it runs in time, and small is okay, but lengthy, that is complicated. So that depends on requirement. We use various concepts. So JavaScript have all these things. One more important is you should know that JavaScript is used. JavaScript is used in so many ways. JavaScript is used client side with HTML. JavaScript is used client side with HTML. JavaScript is used client side with HTML. And not only that, it is used with various other technologies like React, like Angular, like Vue, etc. Everywhere JavaScript is used. Not only that, JavaScript is used server side also. Server side with technologies like Node.js, like Express. That is the reason if anybody says JavaScript is a client-side script, means he don't know JavaScript. That means he knows JavaScript only one level. That means he knows only one side of JavaScript. So JavaScript is used client-side. JavaScript is used server-side. JavaScript is used in database also. Database with MongoDB. MongoDB uses JavaScript in the database. So generally people who are not completely aware of JavaScript, they restrict JavaScript as client-side script. But JavaScript is a very huge language. It is used client-side, it is used server-side, it is used in database. Not only that, it is used in animations with the software like 3ds Max, like so many CAD systems, everywhere it is used very much. JavaScript is used in animations, 3D modeling, 3ds Max, CAD systems, Flash, everywhere JavaScript is used. So people know limited about JavaScript. That is the problem. People have only one idea about JavaScript. But JavaScript is very huge language. JavaScript is used in various ways. We can use client side, we can use server side, we can use in database, we can use in animations. Everywhere it is used. So we will learn JavaScript client side, server side, and database. In 3 locations we will use. That means we are going to learn all 3, not 4th one, because that is separate software that belongs to animations and graphics. That is not our part. That is not our concept. That is animation softwares, right? So we will learn JavaScript client side, we will learn JavaScript server side, and in database. So what is the purpose of JavaScript client side? We will discuss that first, right? Then we will go server side, database when the situation comes. Okay. Now first, this is overview. So one clarity you got now. If anyone asks what is JavaScript, what will be your answer? JavaScript is a language where this language is used. Client side, server side, database, and animations. Everywhere it is used. So what kind of language it is? It is an interpreted and compiled. It is interpreted and compiled programming language. What is meant by interpreted? Line by line. Compiled means entire program at a time, right? What type of compiled it is? JIT compiled, AOT compiled, right? These are all are various categories. These days, for experienced people they ask this question: what is AOT? Because many people still don't know that there is a AOT technique of JavaScript. Because from past recent years only we are using that AOT technique. All technologies are implementing that AOT technique, right? Yeah. So this is JavaScript. Just to understand evolution of JavaScript, how actually this JavaScript concept came, right? How it came, what is the basic history about that? Just a simple evolution we will see. Evolution of JavaScript means how it Yep. So let's see. Actually, to understand what is the basic evolution, first you need to know how it came. What is the history of that? First thing, actually, we already learned that internet network. First, network started. Network started in early 1960s with ARPANET. ARPANET. ARPANET is actually Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. Agency Network. Network started with ARPANET. It is the first computer network. The name of first computer network in the world is ARPANET. ARPANET is Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. With ARPANET, actually it was introduced by United States Department of Defense. United States Department of Defense, these people developed a first computer network and they named that network as ARPANET. ARPANET is the first computer network. For actually, so a laboratory called CERN, CERN Labs. CERN Labs. CERN is Council for European Council, right? Council for European Research and Nuclear. Council for European Research and Nuclear, CERN Labs. These people CERN Labs developed two things they developed. One is markup language. Markup language is they developed GML, generic markup language, and they developed a script. They developed a script called ECMA script. ECMA script. They developed a script called ECMA script. They designed a script called ECMA. That means for network, they designed a language called GML and they designed a script called ECMA. Actually, GML is for presentation. It is for presentation and ECMA for interaction. Presentation is done by GML. Interaction is managed by ECMA. This is the first script actually. We call ECMA as mother of all scripts in the world. Every script came from ECMA, European Computer Manufacturers Association. European Computer Manufacturers Association. So this is association. Yeah. Spelling same. Spelling wrong. Association. Right. So European Computer Manufacturers Association. This is the developer of language called ECMA, right? They developed it. Actually, script was developed by whom? CERN Labs. They designed it. After that, in early 1990, 1990s, Tim Berners-Lee introduced what he introduced? Tim Berners-Lee introduced HTML. HTML as language for web. He introduced HTML as language for web. And actually, HTML was used for a browser called Mosaic. Mosaic is the name of the first browser. The first browser name was Mosaic. Means internet started, web started in early 1990s. And when internet started, started using a language called HTML. And the first browser used for internet was Mosaic. Mosaic is the name of first browser. The world first browser is Mosaic. So we used browser. Browser name is what? Mosaic. And markup language was HTML. And script language was ECMA. ECMA was the script. After that, what happened is in early 1994, a company called Netscape started a new Netscape communicator. They developed Netscape communicator. This is the browser. Many people don't know Mosaic. Many people are not aware of Mosaic. But everybody who knows internet in the beginning days, they know this Netscape. Netscape is the first browser. Means first popular browser among all the people in the world. Everybody started using a browser called Netscape. But Netscape was paid source. It's not free. We have to purchase and use the browsers. So it's not free. So actually, Netscape, how it looks like, I will show you. So for example, yeah. This is a Netscape browser, not that, yeah. Presentations. Yeah. So this is the browser we have. That these are all history where it is present. JavaScript DOM. JavaScript DOM. Okay. Actually, let me show you on internet here. Means somewhere it was there, Google. Virtual DOM, somewhere it is there. Let's check. This browser architecture we already learned, right? Already we discussed that. Netscape Navigator. Netscape Navigator. Yeah, this is the browser. Actually, it looks like this. This is the world's first browser actually. Means first browser was Mosaic, after that Netscape. So people started using internet in this. This is the Netscape browser actually. This is the Netscape browser. That is the Netscape browser. You can see. So this is the Netscape browser. Netscape Navigator. We call it as Netscape Navigator. That is the browser actually. And this Netscape Navigator is the browser. It started in early 1994, 95. So that is the Netscape browser actually. Now, what is the point is, these people started a browser called Netscape. And for this Netscape also, they used the same language. What is that? They used the same markup. Which markup they have used? HTML. Which script they have used? ECMA. ECMA script they have used. But what happened is, HTML started in past. That means HTML versions were developed at faster pace. So HTML versions were developed at faster pace. That means so many new things are coming. And what is problem is, ECMA is not designed for HTML. HTML was very much improving day by day, and ECMA was not improving, because ECMA is a language which is not specially designed for HTML. So it is unable to handle several new things of HTML. They were facing problem in managing HTML. That's the reason what happened is, Netscape appointed Brendan Eich. Netscape appointed Brendan Eich to develop a script for browser. Brendan Eich, Tim Berners-Lee, these all people belongs to CERN laboratories. They were all working on CERN laboratories. And Netscape appointed Brendan Eich to develop a script for their browser, because ECMA was unable to handle HTML properly. They asked Brendan Eich to develop a script for browser. And what he done is, he developed a script by name. He developed a script by name called Mocha. Mocha is the name given. It is a coffee flavor name they have given, Mocha. So Brendan Eich developed a script called Mocha. After that, name was changed to LiveScript. After Mocha, that name was changed to LiveScript. Who developed that LiveScript? Brendan Eich. Brendan Eich developed that LiveScript. And he developed it and he given it to Netscape. That means script belongs to whom? Script belongs to Netscape. Developed by whom? Brendan Eich. So he developed, because he is just an employee in that company. He was appointed for developing a script. He developed and given to Netscape. What happened is, Netscape was unable to maintain script. because Netscape was just a browser. They were not the people specialized in maintaining a language. They were unable to maintain a language. So Netscape was unable to maintain script because they were specialized in browsers, but not in scripts. And Brendan Eich developed it, given it, and his job finished. Right? But they were unable to maintain it. That means adding new features, improving it. They were unable to do that. That's the reason. So they given, so Netscape. So hence Netscape given the responsibility of developing, of maintaining script, maintaining which script? Live script, maintaining live script to a company called Sun Microsystems. That means they given the responsibility of maintaining that script to a company called Sun Microsystems. And Sun Microsystems is a company which is popular for their language called Java. They are popular for their language called Java. Why they given this responsibility to Sun Microsystems? Because Sun Microsystems already have a language called Java. And they were very successful in maintaining that language. And it was very popular at that time. And Netscape given the responsibility of their script also to Sun Microsystems. That is the reason Sun Microsystems renamed live script. They renamed live script as JavaScript. They renamed live script as JavaScript. And very important, you have to note that there is no relation between Java and JavaScript. Completely different. Then why they given the name JavaScript? Just like that. Just to tell the world that this also maintained by Java people. That means this also maintained by the same community. What is the same community? The same community is Java. That is also maintained by Java. So technically, there is no relation between Java and JavaScript. Why they given the name JavaScript? They given the name JavaScript just to tell the world that we are maintaining. That means people who are maintaining Java, the same people are maintaining this script also. The script also. That is the only point. So why the name called JavaScript? Just because of the people who maintained it, right? And there is no relation with Java and JavaScript. JavaScript have to do nothing with Java. Zero relation between these two. So that is the name, how it came. That is the reason Brendan Eich is known as father of JavaScript. He is known as father of JavaScript because he built it. And remember, whatever he built, these people maintained it. That's it. They haven't developed any new things. They just maintained it. They have what Brendan Eich developed, the same we are using even today. Some new features later added by other people. Who are those? I will tell you. So Sun Microsystems just took the responsibility of maintaining the script. They haven't done any improvements into it. So that means that is the reason Brendan Eich is known as father of JavaScript, because his script renamed as JavaScript, right? And one surprising thing is he developed entire JavaScript. Just in 10 days. He took only 10 days to develop Just only 10 days he took to develop entire script. You will take 1 month to learn it. A part of it to learn. You will take just 1 month to learn a part of JavaScript. Right? Actually, for experienced people, these are not complex. People who are good in language, technologies, for them, learning and knowing about a language is not lengthy. It's short. Actually, generally enough, I will tell you a very basic thing. Generally, at corporate level, we provide corporate level training. Corporate level training, I already freelanced for HP and Microsoft. We have to train the trainers in various other companies for means so many years back. I freelanced for HP and Microsoft companies. So our responsibility is we train trainers and send them to companies. Those trainers will train the developers. Our role is train the trainers. We are not trainers. We are the trainers of trainers. We have to train the trainers. And point is, almost for 7 years, I worked for both Microsoft and HP as freelancing. Now, what is the concept is, how many days HTML, how many days CSS, how many days Bootstrap we have to train in companies. 4 hours HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, and 5 hours JavaScript. That means maximum in 2 days UI finish. That's it. Only 2 days. We just get a weekend time. 2 days. In 2 days UI finish. That's it. That means because they are already developers. They are already developers. For developers, you have to just give an idea of concept. They will explore by themselves and they will do everything by themselves. Right? That is the reason maximum 2 days only. 2 days only. We take 4 months for learning all the concept. So in real world companies, even today same. Even today same. That means even today also, just say 1 week, 2 days, 3 days only training is given on our complete technology. Actually, from past 2 years, we stopped weekend batches. Actually, we used to have weekend batches earlier, before COVID. Weekend batches. That means only Saturday, Sunday class happens. And for that class, people come from Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi. They fly here, stay 2 days in Hyderabad. They learn that course and go back. Monday, they will join the company again, working there. Every weekend they come. And in 2 weekends, the complete concept is finished. Technology finished. Some technologies 1 weekend only. .NET and Java like technologies, we take only 4 weekends. .NET and Java like technologies, people learn 1-2 years. Right? People are still learning 1-2 years. They are learning Java, .NET, all these things. Just maximum 4 weekends, 3 weekends. Right? We used to have such batches earlier. Now, because we are conducting everything online, they are listening everything online. Because earlier, we don't have any online batches. So online team is separate. If you want online batch, some online separate faculty will be there. He will be teaching you. So offline, separate only offline. Online, separate people. Separate team is there. From COVID onwards, we are dealing with online, offline, both simultaneously at the same time. But earlier, no chance. If you have to listen to class, no online. You have to come here and listen. Because you know how people learn classes online. Zero knowledge. Right? from online when you are learning class, because you have a lot of diversions happening, you can't listen and you can't be perfect 100%, right? Because somebody is sleeping, somebody is walking here and there. uh, Even he don't know that session ends, he wakes up and see that session finished. Such people will be continuously in online. That means those people zero, nothing, they can't do anything. That is the reason we don't recommend online much. Actually, we don't recommend, because people who are very serious in learning a technology, offline is the only way to get into it, right? Online, because you don't have any other sources, then only online. Otherwise we prefer offline only. We don't have, just for up to 2 years, last 2 years, before 2 years, no online batches. No online batches. We don't even encourage that. Even today we don't encourage. But because people request that they can't come or something else, then that is the reason we are conducting, because our online teams will be separate. Actually, faculty who is training offline, he will never teach online batches. That separate team will be there. Now we are dealing with both online and offline. That's the reason many people are attending the batches, right? So the point here is to learn a technology to the people who are already aware of technology. It will be fast, it will be easy. Just they need to understand the architecture. Many times, that is the reason, see, at corporate level, one thing you need to remember. Suppose we are teaching a topic called JavaScript. Generally what we do, tomorrow we will start JavaScript. Then we ask our students that by tomorrow, by yourself, you know what is JavaScript and come. First I will ask you questions, that by yourself what you learned about JavaScript. That means you tell me what you understood about JavaScript. Then we will correct them. That means now he will get the ability of exploring the technology by himself, understanding by himself, because in real time we need this. That means he must be able to explore. Now some people's mentality will be that if I tell that, then they will say, then why you are here? I have to learn by myself. Right? Such mentality people can never survive in real-time projects, real-time companies. They can never survive. Never survive. That means if I say that tomorrow we are going to discuss the topic, you must get prepared with the topic and come to class. Then you will get perfection on the technology. That is the way of learning. That means at corporate level, we do this. That means we say that you first know about it by yourself and come. I will talk to you. I will understand first what you understood about it. Then I will tell you the correct way. No, it is not like that. Actually, its concept is this. That means already you know it. Now you are getting more information about it. That is the way of learning a technology. Hereafter also, when I say that tomorrow we are going to discuss, why I say regularly, I hope you have seen every day that tomorrow we will discuss this, tomorrow we will discuss this. Just not to satisfy you that tomorrow you will learn it. Actually, that we have that habit that you will get prepared and come with that concept, so that you will ask me some doubts on that. Then I can clarify you that no, this is the correct way. Earlier, that is the reason we used to tell that, right? Tomorrow is this, tomorrow is that, right? But you should get this as a habit. Then you will get perfection on technology. If I say tomorrow we are learning a topic, first you get prepared yourself. What is it? And you try to understand by yourself. Then you will get perfection, right? That is how corporate level training happens, right? Everything we don't deliver. We will tell only key points. Rest of things they have to explore, right? So that is why we have to know this basic. So I hope you understood, right? So Brendan Eich took only 10 days to develop entire JavaScript. Whatever he developed, we are using even today the same. And but important, what happened is in the year 2000, in the year 2000. So in the year 2000, Netscape stopped its services because why they stopped the services? Because by the year 2000, several free browsers came like Internet Explorer, like Safari, and Opera. So many free browsers came. When free browsers came into market, then people stopped using Netscape because Netscape is a paid source. They were not interested in giving free service, and they simply stopped Netscape. But remember, even today, every browser architecture is followed by Netscape. That means the architecture of browser, it is Netscape architecture because it is the world's successful browser. Every browser uses the same architecture. I will show you how to know it. I will tell you. That means currently every browser uses the architecture of Netscape. For example, you have different types of mobiles, means different brand mobiles. Can you tell which architecture all these mobiles follow? All the mobiles follow the architecture of Motorola. You know Motorola? All mobiles follow the architecture of Motorola, even today. Architecture of Motorola only. Motorola uses a model called Six Sigma. Six Sigma standards, according to that standards. That is the reason you see Army, Navy, Air Force, Police, all these people's walkie-talkies, they are only Motorola. Only Motorola. Satellite phones, everything. No Samsung, no LG, no MI, nothing. Only Motorola, not even Apple. Motorola only. They use only Motorola. So that means you may ask, like, Apple is very high advanced, Samsung is high advanced. Space research, ISRO people also use Motorola only. That means these are more than space research people. That means they also use the standard architecture only. That is why, because they are safe, they are secured. So that means Netscape is very popular in safety and security. And that every browser is implementing. Why they can't try new? If they try anything new, then some flaws may happen. That is the reason they don't want to try. They just want to use which is already successful. They don't want to try anything new. So that is the reason even today every browser follows Netscape only. But Netscape stopped its services in 2000 and given the JavaScript responsibility to whom? To ECMA, not Sun Microsystems. What they have done is they stopped complete Netscape company, and they have a language called JavaScript. They given that JavaScript not to Sun Microsystems, they given to ECMA. Who are these ECMA people who built the first script? Right? That means now JavaScript follows the standards. So JavaScript follows the standards of whom? ECMA. That is the reason JavaScript versions are called ECMA versions. ECMA 2015. ECMA 2015, which is in short called as ES5. We have ECMA. ECMA means ECMA script. Understood? We have ECMA script 2016, which is called as ES6. Like that, 2018, ES8. And the very latest is ES22. Actually not released. They are planning to release this as ES Next, not 22. Just a pre-release happened. Just a pre-release happened. Final name is not given to it. They are planning to give it as ES Next. ES Next. So, but still companies are using ES6, ES7. They are using ES6, ES7, ES8. These are ES8, 7. These are the popular ones used. Why not other versions? Because other versions have some issues. That is the reason these stable versions companies are using. And when you are learning JavaScript, that means you should know that JavaScript is ECMA script. That many people think both are different, right? Generally, you see, even today, various you will see that actually when we are learning JavaScript, many times people ask like, sir, after JavaScript, will you teach ES5 also, ES6 also? That is completely baseless statement. Why? Because JavaScript is ES. JavaScript is not different. ES is not different. JavaScript version name is ES. So if anybody asks which version JavaScript you learned, then you should say ES6 or ES7 or ES8. That is the JavaScript versions, right? Don't think that JavaScript is different, ES is different. ES is different because you see many times the problem, why you face this problem is, I will tell you a small point here. Many times people come with a complaint that, sir, I uploaded my resume in Naukri site and calls are not coming, right? My friend uploaded, for him so many calls are coming, right? Why calls are not coming to me? The problem is your resume. The problem is your resume. That means in your resume, the skills you mentioned, you know all the skills perfect, but the way you mentioned the skills are not matching with what they want. The way you mentioned, that means skills what they want you have. But one problem is, I will tell you the problem, you will understand so that you will not make that mistake. The problem is, generally on Naukri websites, job sites are there. On Naukri websites, you will upload a resume. There will be some job opportunities. That means, do you know who will create job opportunities? Suppose, I will tell you a simple one. Suppose Wipro. In Wipro company, they need UI developers. Understood? Developers. Who will create that job advertisement and send in Naukri site? Wipro company related HR will do. Understood? Not Wipro company UI senior, UI team lead or project lead. HR will do. And this HR completely illiterate of software. They don't know anything about software. You know, they don't know anything about software, right? They don't know anything. Their job is different, but they are HR in Wipro. The job is created by them. Then what they will do, how they create the job? Now the Wipro team lead is there. Suppose project lead is there, right? This project lead will tell the HR that, we need people having good knowledge in HTML5, good knowledge in CSS3, and good knowledge in ES6. So, or he says that JavaScript, good knowledge in JavaScript, and good knowledge in Bootstrap. That is what he mentioned. Just roughly, I am showing you. Now, what you mentioned in, he will upload these details inside job site, Naukri site. Now you uploaded your resume. Do you know your uploading resume is free, but they have to download your resume and make you a call. For that, they have to pay amount for every resume. That means you are uploading free, but your resume costs money. Then they will strictly tell the HR that don't unnecessarily download everybody's resume. So see that exact these skills are matching, then only download and make them call, because they have to pay for every resume. They don't want to waste even 1 rupee on you. They don't want to waste even 1 rupee on you, right? So then what HR will do in your resume, how you mentioned, that means your resume, right? In your resume, you mentioned HTML, you mentioned CSS, you mentioned suppose ES5. So you mentioned some bootstrap. Okay. Now HR will verify. HR will see HTML5. Here 5 is missing. He will say go side. Right? That means he don't know what is that 5 means. The 5 character to character he will verify. Character to character he will verify. Right? That means HTML5 is there. Okay, you mentioned HTML5. You mentioned CSS3. You mentioned CSS3. Now what is ES5? JavaScript only na? But they don't know. He will say that he mentioned something ES5, but I want JavaScript people. That is HR's mentality. Due to that, many of your resumes are not shortlisted. Right? Because you need to design your resume as per HR's brain, not as per technical brain, because first shortlisted by HR. If you miss there, you will miss everywhere. That means your target is not companies, software engineers, project managers, team leads. Your target is HRs. Right? That is where many resumes fail. Why? Because a team lead will not sit, project lead will not sit and verify resumes. Right? Once shortlisted resumes are sent to him, then those out of those resumes he will verify. Right? Now, this is where many people face the problems. Right? That is the reason you might have seen because you might have seen in some companies requirement, they will mention ES5 also. JavaScript ES5. That means in your resume, you write JavaScript ES5, ES6, ES7, ES8. Then HR thinks that, oh, he knows very much. Right? He knows everything. Right? So that means these are very important things to understand. So you see those Naukri sites, you will see the same issue here everywhere. You see the Naukri site and you search for anything here. Suppose we say UI developer. So UI developer, we are searching for UI developer or full stack developer. And you see they have the skills, set of skills. You see they mention here, you see there is an option here. Have you observed here? They are saying that Angular and Angular 10 both are same only. Angular 10. Angular 10 is version. Why 2 times? Right? So why 2 times? You have to mention that, because these are all HR people who are posting. Sometimes you will see they don't know even spelling also properly. They don't know even spelling also. They will write a wrong spelling here. Sometimes means technology names. Right? I will show you some options here. You see. So actually NPM, React.js. Yeah. You see here. Do you know they are asking here TCS, TCS UI developer, they are asking Grunt. What is this Grunt? Grunt is a package manager like NPM. Grunt is a package manager like NPM. NPM, I told you, na, list. NPM, Bower, Grunt, Growl, so many package managers are there. NuGet. Remember that? Grunt is a package manager. Package manager, every developer knows package manager. Why you have to mention it? Right? That means now the point here is anybody who knows NPM, he knows Grunt also. He knows Yarn also, sometimes Yarn, right? That means only syntax will change. That's not a special skill to have. These kind of things you will see very much. That means now you are a developer. You mentioned that I worked with NPM package manager. That means he will reject your resume. That means after all, for a package manager, you are rejecting my resume. All other skills are same. Any package manager is same. That HR don't know. Understood? That means you can't reject my resume because I have mentioned a different package manager. Actually, we don't mention package manager in our resume. Right? We just mention that we have these skills. Package manager is not a special skill to have. It's an after all concept inside the technology. Right? But you see such problems you will see everywhere. Everywhere you will see such things. So UX design, user experience, here you see some other options, Angular UI. You see Angular UI. What is this Angular UI? That is not Angular UI, Angular JS, Angular UI. Right? That is the, and these are not small people. Who are those? Front-end developer, Angular developer, some corner tree consulting. Consulting means you can expect that. Right? You see, these are all the options. These are all the options here. You see, means I'm just giving you the concept why your resumes are rejected. Understood? Now, when you prepare a resume, what is your target? So first see job sites for that particular developer, how requirements are asked. Make sure that they are present in your resume. Understood? Verify requirements, how they are asking for requirements. Make sure that you put those requirements in resume. Then you have to switch off your phone. So many calls will come because these days UI developers, too much requirement is there. So much requirement is there. UI, front end, full stack developers, too much requirement. We are looking for people on that. So recently Tech Mahindra came to us for Naresh Technologies. Next month or in the month of January, maybe they are conducting a campus drive. They will conduct a campus drive. They need 100 UI developers. 100 number of UI developers, 100. They are simply saying that how many people you can give. Right? In a batch, we have hundreds of people, but all are not suitable now. All are not suitable. We have to filter them who are doing good practice, exercise, able to do the designs. Those people only we have to send into that. Right? Tech Mahindra saying that you tell number, we will take. Right? They are saying that how many people you can give. Right? Because just 6-7 months back, when Tech Mahindra people came to us for UI developers only, front-end developers only, we are unable to provide resources. Means they want 50-60 people, only 10-12 people selected. Why not others? Because poor in practical skills. They are not practicing, they are not designing. Poor, very poor in practical skills. We need good practical skills. Right? You have to do practice very much. Then you will get perfection. Lot of opportunities are there. For those campus drives, you will be ready. By the time they come, you will be ready. You have to practice well. Then you can easy to crack those interviews and all. So many requirements are there. So at the end, I will guide you in how these requirements are defined and mentioned. Okay. So the point here, which version of JavaScript we are learning here? Which version of JavaScript? Our target is ES8. We will learn ES8. ES8, which is very latest. In companies also, they are still using ES6 only. ES6, ES7 maximum. ES8 is very advanced, right? We are going to learn all ES8 features also. That means all latest features along with old. So we will see how to handle. So practically now the question here, first what we are going to do, we are going to learn JavaScript with HTML. That means we are going to use JavaScript what? Client side. Is JavaScript only client side? No. But we are using JavaScript client side first. Later you will learn server side. Why we need JavaScript client side? What is the purpose of JavaScript client side? How JavaScript works client side? These features we need to understand. There are some features and drawbacks. We need to know about them. That we'll see in tomorrow's session. Right? Tomorrow we will start practically working with JavaScript.